always throws me off that the Co-op has funeral care.
Don't you diss Lidl's carrots?
Put some 10 metres away and froze it.
Okay, I'm going to pay the premium so my mum doesn't die.
Welcome back to the Antisocial podcast, brought to you by the lovely people at Adrian Flux. We are actually the best looking podcast in the world.
And
aren't we, people?
sexiest.
You know, and it's been added today because we're joined by a beautiful, beautiful guest, Mr. Robbie Knox.
Oh yeah, clap for that.
Hi everyone.
Welcome, Robbie. How are you today? How did you come here?
I came here by train, 2 trains. I got to go, I liked it because I went into London, then out from London Bridge. Not going to dox you, not going to say exactly where we are. I got to go under the Bermondsey Dive Under, which is my favourite bit of railway infrastructure in London.
Oh, wow. It's a party lifestyle you live, isn't it?
Yeah.
First time we've heard that. That's the biggest compliment we've ever got on this podcast.
So if anyone's unfamiliar with it, it was only been built in the last 5 years, but before, there was a lot of delays in trains where the trains on one side, the others had to cross. They had to wait at things. So they built a dive under that goes, so the trains go underneath and you go, wee, and up. I always do a little wee in my head.
Where is this?
It's
on the DLR.
No, on the mainline train from London Bridge. You notice it, you go under.
The train goes wee.
I go wee.
He goes wee, not the train.
But it's kind of-
Although if you are on the tube definitely goes wee.
Yeah,
If I've
that's-
been on the tube.
One thing I want to say is, you know, when you're on the tube, how come, you know, that horrible, horrible noise that goes, that massive noise? How does no Londoner just react? Every Londoner just looks straight ahead.
You get acclimatized to horrible living conditions on travel.
But
That's what happens.
that's what gets me angry as a DLR fan. When people like to say the tube's better, it's like, with the DLR, you get the Wi-Fi, you don't get that noise.
Mate, we just need to just sit and remember we're living at a time with two greats exist. Do you know what I mean? So we just kind of need to say. Anyway, Robbie, I want to bring it back to you. You started, or at least I started hearing about you when you were on Soccer AM.
Yeah. I lived before then, but yeah. that was.
How long ago was that?
So I was on from 2000 to 2007. It's quite a while ago.
So I remember were you doing dealing with the guests, did you say?
Yeah, so I used to do, there were bits that we did on camera, like I did a few characters and stuff like that, but a lot of my stuff was either me or someone else would book a guest and it would be phoning them up, writing an interview, sorting out the travel, making sure they got there, all that stuff.
Because I remember you told me a story when you were on that walk about you had this awkward experience where someone drove past you. Was it a football or something?
David Prutton.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. So it was, because we're about, you'd meet people and you wouldn't necessarily know where you met them from. And because we're doing things on the show, people would recognise you from it. And I was in Southampton really drunk, walking at midnight, walking past a roundabout, and this car pulled up, going, "All right, mate." I was like, "Oh, hello." And I was like, I don't know if this is by kids, but I don't know if it's just someone who watched the show. And he goes, "Don't know who I am, do you?" I'm like, no. He goes, "I was on your show, 4 weeks ago." I was thinking I was like a fan of the week or something because I had those people in. They had nice cars. I was like, "Oh, shit, he's a footballer." So I was going through my head of every Southampton footballer I could think of. And he goes, "My name is David Prutton." But he was I think he was at England 21 at the time. But he'd had long hair and he cut it all off. I was like, "Oh, if you had a haircut, it's not my fault." All right, see you, bye.
What, was he a big footballer?
He was all right. I mean, he was decent, but he wasn't. Depends how, better than me.
Who was the biggest one you had on it that time?
Because
obviously
footballer-wise,
different era football.
I mean, who was still playing at that? We had Michael Owen, who was probably the biggest that was playing. To a degree, yeah. But then we'd have quite a lot of ex-pros and things like that.
Because you had that story with I don't know if that was involved with being on the show, but with the Liam Gallagher. Remember you talked about that one? When you had the.
I thought it was Noel.
No, it was Liam, wasn't it?
Which one is it? Is this the locked in the cupboard?
Yeah, the locked in the cupboard one.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask, have you got any more stories like that from guests that have been on?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it wasn't. I'm trying to think what I've told and what I haven't, to be honest. But I mean, because I can't remember anything. But yeah, I mean, it was. I'm trying to think what would be useful, what would be of interest. I don't know. I mean, we'd have. If you narrow it down to a specific thing, it might have a story.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I was just wondering if you had, because I remember I was watching that clip on Happy Hour today with Liam Gallagher, and I was absolutely pissing myself laughing at, because have you heard the story?
I haven't, no.
So this is the one, this is locked in the cupboard. Yeah. So when I was growing up, I was like a really, really big Oasis fan. When the like 16, 17 when Definitely Maybe came out. It was like this life-changing album and all that. And I was so Noel had been on the show a couple of times, and that was like, for me, that was so exciting. Oh my God, this is one of my heroes. But I never met Liam, but I knew he watched Soccer AM. And we went to some party. I think Oasis had won like Lifetime Achievement at the Brits or something, and Noel invited us all along. So I went along to this party, and it was really weird. But Liam came over and he's like, all right, lads, how you doing? And me and Neil, we did these characters called Curl and Ginger. It was like these, like I was a mute alcoholic Air Force pilot sort of thing. Like it was, I didn't really speak, I just went dra. And he's going, oh, that's so great, that Curl and Ginger. He goes, that's your Definitely Maybe. I'm like, amazing that's how you rate things. It's a Definitely Maybe, that. But then it was me, Tim Lovejoy, who presented the show at the time, and Liam was chatting to us, and he goes, because the new you got to hear the new stuff, lads. It's brilliant. It's so good. We're going, oh, I didn't know there was any new stuff. Like, it was just before the last album.
Yeah, they weren't sure if they were going to release a new one at this point. Was
so it was, So there was the one that had The Importance of Being Idle that I can never remember the name of. That was really good. And then there's another one that came out afterwards, just before that. Well, a bit before that. But I didn't even know they were recording anything. It's exciting. He goes, do you want to hear something now? I go, yeah, that's great. So he goes, follow me. So we're walking through this club in London. I go, oh, this is pretty exciting. He's going to get us like a CD or something out and play it for us. He goes us through the kitchen of this club, and all the people working there are like, what are you doing here, mate? He goes into this little pantry, shuts the door, and goes like, all right, so the first song goes like this, he goes, starts singing it. But it wasn't just like singing the words, he was like doing all the instruments, he'd be like going, and all this like that. At first I was still thinking, this is mint, this is really...
Like a live
really
performance for free?
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing, right? By the time of the second one, I was like, oh, all right. By the time we like doing a third 5-minute long song, I was like, oh, my drink's done. I'm like, I don't know how to get out of this.
Was he playing it in full length as well?
Yeah, did like
3 minutes 20.
Yeah, like intros, outros, fade outs.
He must have been on a substance, surely. Or was he just mental in general?
Can possibly say, but I don't know. I mean, he was very energetic. But yeah, and eventually then we sort of just finished and went back to the party. Like,
so how long ago in the Soccer AM journey was that?
First day in the job.
Well, I'm trying to think. It probably would have been about 2006, 2007.
Oh, so near the end?
Yeah, towards the end, yeah.
So how did you've obviously progressed from very mainstream TV media coming into this YouTube world. How was the process of that? Like, what made you want to come into this world?
I did Channel B for Soccer AM for 7 years, and then I got. You do anything for that long, you get a bit bored, don't you? Sort of thing. I feel really bad that I'm talking over here.
No, I'm just enjoying you talking.
Well, I'll try and work the room a bit better.
No, you work the room's fine.
It's weird being in the middle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, some people like that.
It's fine. Yeah,
sandwich.
All good. Sandwich. So yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. So I did Soccer AM for 7 years, and then I wanted to leave, but I didn't. We were doing so many exciting things at the end. Like we got to play football, first game at Wembley. We got to go to Champions League finals and things like this. I think there was so much good stuff going on. I didn't want to leave, and then everyone else go, oh, we're playing the World Cup finals today. I didn't want to miss out. But then Tim got offered to do this internet TV thing before YouTube existed, but it wasn't really a thing of a YouTuber. It wasn't a thing. Yeah. It was just like cat videos and that. Yeah.
Virgin.
Yeah. So we did all. So he got invited to go and do that for 90 Entertainment, which was Simon Fuller, who managed the Spice Girls and stuff. It's his company. Yeah. So we went over and worked there for 2 years, and then we spent loads of money and didn't make any and got asked to leave. So then I started up I run a production company as a day job, making videos for people. And then I just did that for years. And then I just started doing YouTube about 3 years ago.
Is that like public knowledge that you have like your own kind of like little business doing the videography?
Possibly, I don't know. I mean, it's just me who does it. Really. Yeah. I go use freelancers occasionally and stuff like that, but I'm not really. It's sort of something to fund my lifestyle.
I thought you did YouTube full time. Because when on the walk you told me that that was your main job, and then YouTube was kind of just like a side thing.
No, that's what I'd probably upload more if I did it full time. But there's times when I've not got much on or something like that, and I'll put loads out. And then there's other times when I'm busy and I'll.
Yeah. What kind of videography is it that you do?
So I do stuff. I've done some of the sort of bigger things. But my ideal job is something you can go along, film it, edit it, and be done with it and move on.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of recent things. So I did that stuff for EA Sports where they did a show called Top Bins, which was like when the FIFA Team of the Week came out. A couple of people to do like a show where they'd talk about all the players in it and who's good and all that stuff. I don't play all teams, I don't really know. I'm learning.
Who's good?
I don't know who's good at it. So they did that, and we literally filmed that, and I'd just sit in their office, edit it, because it's quite a quick turnaround and upload it that day, so stuff like that.
Is it a solo man job, or have you got your own
That
team?
it depends. So it's me and freelancers when I need them, but mostly it's my ideal thing is just me, because I don't have to arrange anything.
So when did the decision to actually start your own YouTube come then?
So I didn't ever watch YouTube for YouTubers. I knew Jack already, so I'd occasionally watch his stuff, and I'd met a few people through work and stuff. There's loads of YouTubers that I've met. I didn't know who they were at the time because I'm 44. I don't know, 44. Yeah, it's a dimension. So there's loads that there's a bit like I've met like Cal Freezy and stuff like that. I had no idea, apart from that they were obviously, because they were at these FIFA events, they obviously were quite popular. But no, they weren't. After going, oh, I know him. I like him. You see things, it's really good.
Got a poster of you on my wall?
Yeah. So I basically didn't really watch YouTube, and I thought it was for younger people. And I was talking to a guy called Will Brazier who does for sport.
Yeah, presenter.
Yeah. He's a really good guy. We were doing some filming at Watford's training ground with Troy Deeney, and we were chatting away, and he was going, "You should start a YouTube channel." I was like, "Oh, I'm probably a bit off that, mate." He said, "I'm not being, don't be rude, but he goes, I know what it's like being 18 and starting uni, because every September there's 6,000 vlogs about being 18 and starting uni. He goes, I don't really know what it's like being middle-aged." Sort of thing. So I thought, all right, I'll do it. So I thought I'd do a video a week for 6 months and see how it goes. If I enjoy it, I'll carry on. And
like vaccine this week.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I remember my first one.
Did that help? Like, obviously, because you went from mainstream to YouTube, did that help with like contacts? For example, like you did that video with Michael Van Gerwen as well, who's like, that's someone that I, to put it politely, don't really care about. But if I did a video with Michael Van Gerwen, my dad and my brother would think I'm like a Greek god or something. They would like be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that was like the weirdest thing in that Tubes, who Soccer AM, and I did a lot of filming with him. I was helping out with filming, and he got he said, "Oh, you're free. We've got the PDC asked me if I wanted to come down to their press day," and he said, "So as a joke, I said, yeah, only if I can get a darts lesson off of Michael Van Gerwen." They went, "Yeah, no problem." So I went, "So do you want to come down?" I went, "Yeah, can you ask if I can ask Michael Van Gerwen about his bin day routine?" They went, "Yeah, no problem." It's like, what are they going to say no to?
Wasn't that the title?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think like that. But then when we got there, we were just mucking around. We said, that's because when we were playing can we get a little game at Ali Pally as a joke? And they went, yeah, no problem. You can come around and play beforehand. So we got to play darts. I can't play darts. We got to play darts at Alexandra Palace before they opened up. But there were still people coming in, and I'm like, but they had the announcer guy. I can't remember. He was brilliant. He came on Soccer In before, but it was really good because he's like normally he's doing like he's 100 and all that stuff. But he's going like 7. Like these numbers he never gets to say anymore.
Did you miss the board at any point?
Yeah,
I definitely would. I would miss the board.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
0.
But we had so we didn't play. They said, "Do you want to play at 5:01?" We're going. We'll be there for like an hour. So we'll do like 9 darts. Whoever gets the highest score, and it was something like 60, 54 or something. Like, it was dreadful. Like it was. I could have been beaten in a single dart by a good darts player.
So was he quite sound then? Was
Michael Van Gerwen?
Yeah,
he's brilliant.
It seems lovely. Are you big into your darts?
Oh, massive.
Oh yeah, look, Bill the power tail.
I'm not going to lie.
like
When they were at the O2, I really wanted to go just for the absolute scenes. Of
I've been told it's really good to go there. I've never went. My
the
brother's
atmosphere
really big
looks
into
mint.
It does.
Really
everyone's just there to get pissed, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
But he's like the Messi of darts at the moment. He is still number 1, isn't he? Right
Messi
now.
of darts.
He is, bro. He's fucking unreal.
They look alike. You know?
They do.
I don't know what he looks like, to be honest with you.
You never seen Michael Van Gerwen?
I don't need to now. And he looks like Messi, doesn't he? So I know what he looks like.
What? He's bold.
What was his bin day routine?
It was mental. We had to like drive his bins somewhere. It's like you don't just put your bins out.
He puts them 10 metres away and throws it in.
But I think he'd like put in a van or something and drive to. Oh, no, normally you do. I think because because he's rich, he like
Was it
pays
Van
someone to
Clinton's
take
name?
them or something. Whatever your middle name is, you have to use that transport. I think he said he hired a company to do this for him. Because normally you've got to take your bin somewhere. They don't come and get your bins. Mental.
He's a big lad, though, isn't he, Michael Van Gerwen? I imagine he goes through a lot of packaging.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Food packaging.
Yeah, dark player diet.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
you don't know his environmental credentials. He might be down one of those places where you can refill your plastic pot with beans or something, or quinoa. I don't know what he does.
Because wasn't that like 4 years ago, surely? Was it now? I'm trying to remember. I think it was about that time, was it?
What, that thing? I don't know if we did YouTube that long. It would have been just before Christmas 2019. It would have been.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So it wasn't the last darts tournament, it was the one before that.
Oh, right, okay.
Like that, yeah.
But it was one of your early videos, though, wasn't it?
Probably fairly early, yeah. I've not been doing it that long.
Because it got like 500,000 views, I'm pretty sure. Like, it banged for you.
It's done well, yeah. I'm not sure if it's that. I don't think I've got any video that have views. I don't know. It did well, yeah.
So what is your...
And it does well when he does it well in darts tournaments. So I'm like cheering him on. Here we go. Bit of ad revenue. He's out in the first round. I'm like, oh no, it's no Christmas kids.
So when you I bought his kids Christmas presents. So
He
that
did,
was why,
yeah.
You know. At the start, when you first started then, what was your idea with your channel? So you've had that chat with Will.
I'd had that, and I thought I'll just do what I enjoy. I think it's sort of the hardest way to do YouTube, because I think if you've got something that you do, it's like people can go into. So I'll make some skiing videos, and there'll be people who come like, oh, brilliant skiing videos, I'll do this, and then they get me taking the bins out or asking if I can go to that bin or two. They're like, no, I'm out, unsubscribe, something. So I just thought, but then equally, I thought my plan was to try and make some kind of, not necessarily my full-time living from it, but make some kind of part of my income from it in 5 to 10 years. I was thinking very sort of long
5 to 10
term.
years?
Well, yeah, because, people rush things a lot. I get people message me going, oh, I'm not struggling and growing on YouTube, and I've done like 3 videos. I go, well, do more. But I thought I'll do long term. If I keep doing it, then eventually some people will probably watch it in 10 years. Sort of thing. So my plan was generally just to sort of to do stuff that I enjoyed, because otherwise there's no point if you're doing stuff that you don't like.
Exactly. Because you were doing like a vlog, weren't you? I'm sure you had
Yeah, it's sort of like vloggy sort of stuff. And it still sometimes is. It's just literally anything.
So when did you get involved with Jack?
So I first met him years ago. Do you want the long story or the short story?
Long story.
Yeah, nice long story.
Okay. So one Christmas, I went to Sainsbury's and got really annoyed because
there's no brandy sauce.
No brandy sauce. There was
No
hardly
brandy
anything.
sauce.
I don't want to interrupt the story because it's going to be a great one. Do you know what brandy sauce is?
Yes.
Do you like brandy sauce?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay. It's better than not knowing what it is and hating me for it.
The thing is, one time he asked me to go to the shop. I was like, do you want anything with brandy sauce? I went, what the fuck's brandy sauce?
It's a Christmas thing, isn't it? You don't get it normally, do you?
Yeah. Christmas. It was a Christmas thing. Okay, as you were angry at Sainsbury's.
I was angry at Sainsbury's because I'd done all my shopping online. I'd planned, but I had to go there for some reason because we got invited to someone's house. I had to get something to make a cake or something like that. So I went there and it was horrible. Like the experience was dreadful. Like the queues were like right down the aisles. There was everything. They put the price up of everything. All the food was disgusting. There were carrots that were disgusting. How do you mess up carrots? Like
You've got one job.
Like bad
it's a carrot.
carrots.
What was wrong with the carrot?
They were just like, they had no taste. They just taste like water.
Like them soggy carrots. You never had them
they were
before.
they're just awful.
I've seen them at Lidl plenty of times.
Don't you diss Lidl's carrots?
Lidl's carrots great.
you know,
Lidl's carrots.
No, but Lidl's peppers can be something's a bit dodgy.
See, you've got to find the right pack with peppers, though. You know. Anyway.
Sorry.
This is Sainsbury's, not Lidl's. No problem with Lidl's. But we so I got there and I was everything was unpleasant about the experience. I thought there's got to be a different way to shop. So I just stopped. I thought I'm not going to go to the supermarket for a year. In the end, I did 6 months, and I didn't really tell anyone. I just told my wife, and she was like, oh, for God's sake. But I just went to like independent shops. I got like a milk delivered, like it's the 80s. And then and things like that. And I was living in London at the time, so it was a bit easier than if I lived elsewhere. And it was quite annoying in that sometimes if you did like turmeric for a recipe and you go, loads of turmeric in that Sainsbury's there. I've got to find a shop that sells turmeric now. So I go around and go, got any turmeric, mate? No. All right. So I did that for about six months, and then I just wrote a Facebook post, my like private Facebook thing, and someone I knew who worked for the Huffington Post said, "Oh, that's really interesting. You're actually writing a blog for it." So I wrote a blog, and I think I did another blog for them, and then they phoned me up and said, we've got this brand deal thing with Amoy, this Chinese cooking thing. Do you want to be in it? We can pay you, and it's a Chinese cooking competition, so you could win a holiday as well.
Fucking hell.
So I was like, all right, yeah. I said, there's like a team of comedians, a team of YouTubers, and a team of bloggers. I'd written 2 bloggers ever. I was like, I feel like I've cheated out a lot of bloggers here that have done this. But all right. So it was me and this girl called Victoria, who's this food blogger, and Jack was one of the team of YouTubers. Jack and Helen Anderson is also from Norwich. And that's where I met him from there. And we won the holiday. And then I suddenly thought, are they going to expect me to go on holiday with this girl from my team, this 25-year-old girl? Because she's really nice.
Bet the wife loves
but I'm
that.
phoning up my wife and going, I won, by the way, I'm just off to Hong Kong for a week. But in the end, they just said, do you want the holiday? Do you want the cash? I've got the cash, please.
How much was the cash?
$1,000, I think.
So $1,000 or a holiday to Tokyo? That doesn't really match, does it?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, where you got Tokyo
I
from?
don't know, sorry, Hong Kong.
I think, I guess like 500 quid for a flight.
Did they pay you for your time as well?
Yeah.
Because you were getting paid regardless, right?
Yeah.
So you get.
But I like work that you can
got
win
double time.
That you can win more money if you do.
So Sainsbury's brought you together.
Essentially, my anger at Sainsbury's.
So is Sainsbury's at the bottom of the tier list of supermarkets?
Great question.
Great question.
No, I don't.
Like everyone.
Can we have this out now?
I do think this might start a bit of debate, controversy, especially amongst him. I know he's passionate about his
I
supermarkets.
fucking hate Lidl. I hate it.
Right, well,
Yeah, that's because he's posh.
calm down. What are you saying about your top? What's your top 3?
I think you're good old reliable. For example, Tesco will never disappoint you, but it's a bit expensive. Never disappoint you, but it's a bit on the expensive side.
Is that 1?
It depends. We need to be.
We need to be smashing these out.
I think Aldi has got to be number 1. I'm sorry. I think Aldi just has. What you can say about Aldi? I think I agree. Aldi for us is unbelievable.
Right.
Anyone else going to agree with Aldi for number 1?
Iceland? Would you not pay
Iceland for a big shop? Are you mad?
That is mental.
Iceland. It's good for Greg sausage rolls if you want to freeze them.
What is Iceland's slogan? Is why someone got shove at Iceland? What is it? Is it
Mums go to Iceland.
Why am I a mum?
Yeah, it is. What?
Why am I a mum? Why would I go to Iceland?
You wouldn't, but I don't think you're really their market, their aim and their marketing strategy. So maybe
They don't check on the door either. I've got it before.
He's a Waitrose type of guy.
Yeah.
Are you a Waitrose type of guy?
No, all right, listen. It depends what you're doing. I wouldn't say. Like, listen, if you just want your ultimate quality, yeah, you got your Waitrose and your Marks and Spencers, but I couldn't say that as my top 3. 2 of them being the most Tory brands. Do you get me?
I think Marks and Spencers gets a bad rep of being expensive, whereas there's a lot of deals.
It's expensive.
There are
3 ready meals for £7,
There are a lot of deals,
and they are exceptional.
They're like £10 meal deal thing where you get like a bottle of wine in it.
Yes.
That's decent value. That.
See, it's not for a big shop,
No.
but if you want a fancy night in, Marks and Spencers is the one.
I do love Marks and Spencers, not gonna lie, but there is one that is near us, and I have not been to it.
You've not been
more
in
than
there?
once.
Oh,
We went there. I picked up an Easter egg. That was it.
Is
As
Lidl
you
and
do.
Sainsbury's out of the question completely?
Sainsbury's, you think?
Fuck off.
I don't think Sainsbury's knows what it is.
Orange is a shit
I
colour
don't
as
think it
well.
knows what
I'll
it
tell you
is.
about Sainsbury's. They like to pride themselves, but there's fuck all variety in there. I remember one time I went in there for pasta, and I had one type of pasta in a tiny little fucking bag. I was like, where's the big bags? Where's the different pasta shapes? It was just one tiny little bag of fusilli, and ever since then I've never went to Sainsbury's.
Really?
That is not normal
Okay.
for Sainsbury's.
Yeah, that is not normal for Sainsbury's.
You've got bad Sainsbury's or a bad day.
It was a small Sainsbury's, but I did expect more variety in the pasta category.
Robbie.
Okay, I don't think you can pick one. I go for different supermarkets for different things. If I'm going to buy a lot of vegetables, I'll be straight down Lidl. Good quality vegetables and all this.
Good quality.
So
Yeah, good quality, cheap. You can
To
get
make
like
this-
loads of vegetables, like a trolley full of vegetables, like 20 quid.
They do have loads.
What about for your big shop then?
Yeah.
So,
To
Well,
make this
again,
easier,
it depends.
monthly shop.
Monthly
The
shop.
fuck shop's a monthly
Or
shop.
fucking your bi-weekly
What's the
shop
deal?
then.
Okay.
Where would you be going? Your ideal supermarket?
Wow, again, it varies. Like because during the early days of COVID, when it was a bit scary. I'd previously been going to Lidl or Aldi, but I was like, do you know what? It feels a bit safer in Sainsbury's because we've got a bit more space. So I started going, I'm going to pay the premium so my mum doesn't die. Like, I'm going to make... I don't mind splashing out an extra
Robbie Knox's mum's alive.
20, 30 quid a shop if...
he's going to get Tropicana so his mum can live.
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
That is true.
I love
That is true.
Tropicana.
Sometimes I'll go to Lidl and I'll go, you know what? This is a bargain, but I might be on the toilet for 7 hours after this.
There is one that no one has mentioned, Morrison's.
Oh!
It's all right,
What?
Morrison's.
You've done a haul at Morrison's, haven't you?
No, I did an Asda one. I did Sainsbury's and then I did Asda. But Asda, the Asda in Swanley, it's like people who try to get COVID. They're like licking each other. Like, just
Morrison's
mental.
doesn't even deserve a mention. I'm sorry.
I forgot that existed.
It's so bad. I think the only time I've ever been to Morrison's or even seen a Morrison's is when I go to see my family up in Staffordshire. And that's enough. That says itself.
I'm going to defend Morrison's. I think it's all right.
Really?
I think it does. I
Robbie.
think it's got a good butchery type meat section. I think like
The
that.
meat section.
The meat section of
really?
Morrison's.
It's not very inclusive though. Vegans.
They actually keep their
vegetarians.
chicken.
They got other stuff as well. They're not just meat.
It's actually super fresh at Morrison's, but because they usually keep the chickens like, out the back.
Good. Well, it works. It works for them.
Yeah, they have a school out the back with chickens, don't they? No, I think Morrison's has got a really good hot food section. You know, when you order your food, like chicken nuggets, wedges.
Wedges and chicken nuggets from Morrison's.
Yes, I never had them.
Well,
Yeah, that is true.
Yes, very good.
I've seen a whole chicken in Morrison's.
Oh, what, alive?
It was
They were just trying to catch it around the aisles.
in the world food. In the world food aisle, just trying to catch it.
I think it is also circumstantial as well because where I'm from, there's about 5 Tesco's and 2 Asda's and nothing else. Whereas here,
Farms.
I've not seen an Asda since I've moved here.
Yeah, same.
I've never seen an Asda since I've moved here.
Near Charlton, there's a big shopping.
Yeah,
area.
but
it's Asda's there.
Normally there's like little Asda, like little
Oh,
Asda's talking about.
we don't have that around
We
here.
have a wee Asda and a big Asda back in
No, we
Massive.
do not have a wee Asda. We just have big Asda.
Just big Asda.
There are some small Asdas though.
That's
they are
why big
about.
Asda is not really convenient for your everyday weekly shop because you're going to do a fucking 5k while you get your food. You know what I
No,
mean?
Asda pisses me off because it reminds me of what the hell is the blood clot?
The blood clot.
Your dad.
Not
Your ex-girlfriend.
No. Oh, come on, man. No, it's a shop. You can help me out, please. You have like a big Argos. Thank you for your help, man.
Argos for your big shop.
What, do you get a fucking catalogue out for Asda? I was like, E43.
No, Asda and Argos, I always get confused between the two, and I'm just, I sit there and I'm like, because some things like, get in your head. And
Do you
you're
want
like,
prawns or a crab? It's kind of...
Depends on how busy.
Do you know how my Asda bag at home's fucked, right? Because it has a McDonald's built into it. So when you serious. So when you walked in, there's a McDonald's on your left. You're like, do I go for a weekly shop or do I just get a McDonald's and fucking dip?
All right, we've been doing a lot of like we're gaining information. I just want to all-time favorite, your number one. If there was a mass apocalypse, COVID turned everyone into zombies, but only Robbie Knox is alive, but you could do a haul somewhere, where would you go?
I'm going to go with Tesco's because I used to work there and I've got a bit of loyalty to Tesco's.
I'd say I'm also going to put my cards on the table and say Tesco because I just remembered their Tesco cookies and that is just amazing.
Of course, you'd like the fucking cookies.
Yep.
What you say, mate?
Prick.
I'm not gonna lie, very, very quickly. I won't make a meal out of this, but imagine apocalypse happened. Yes, exactly. Imagine apocalypse happened, and then you just come across a Waitrose. Wow.
Well, if apocalypse happens, money wouldn't be a thing.
No, I'm talking about what's inside of it. Like I'd be pissed off if all I fucking found was a Lidl that was near me, but like fucking 3-headed aubergines, which are they're fuck. I don't know what you're talking about. Their vegetables. I've been in there, and the avocados are not A1. Like
What's happening in this apocalypse? Is it a breakdown of the global financial system? Because you've got to factor in the price as well.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely fucking like you literally zombies are all over the gaff. You just have to.
It's
go
a zombie
into
apocalypse. Well, that was not mentioned beforehand. So.
Yeah.
Bruv, it's apocalypse.
I thought you weren't going to make a meal out of this, mate.
I'm not,
But
but now it's developed.
If it was a zombie apocalypse,
Is the supply chain affected? I'm wondering how the vans are still stocking Waitrose. Like, you saw the trouble with Brexit, they're talking about supply chain. Zombie apocalypse is going to be up there, at least with that.
yeah, but imagine a zombie going around Lidl trying to race you. You'd easily get past them. Just the way that Lidls are built.
They're all built the same.
No, I'd want to be in an Asda in a zombie apocalypse. So many hiding spots, isn't it? So many hiding spots.
Again, the Asda near me is like practice for a zombie apocalypse.
That's the thing, when you, in COVID, when you were going shopping, did anyone ever just used to like fucking like breathe over you and everything? Did you ever get that?
I'd use my like trolley as a weapon. Even though I didn't need a trolley, I'd use it to block people that was clearly... I'd use it around...
Just do a blockade down the aisle.
Just like, okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this there.
I used to maybe not use it to, hurt, but I used to do it to like, give them a little fright. Like I'd pretend I was going to like push it and then go...
Yeah. Would you blame it on a tick?
I'm not hitting people with a
Yeah,
trolley.
I'd go,
Yeah, no, I like distance myself from that. I wasn't attacking people with a trolley. What I mean was I was using it like to block, like, I put it between me and another shopper if I was going to get something
like a
there.
tactic.
So they didn't lean over me.
There's nothing worse.
Ultimate passive-aggressive move.
There's nothing worse than someone
defensive.
that doesn't have spatial awareness when shopping. Do you know when you're
yeah.
sitting there, you're looking for something, and someone just comes walking right past you? It's like,
We've actually forgotten
I
another
can
one.
murder you right
Co-op, lads. No one said anything about co-op.
For a fucking reason, mate.
yeah, I go and co-op to get soft mints, mate, not my weekly shop.
It always throws me off that the co-op has funeral care. Because I always feel like, well, if this shop goes
Your granddad's
really bad,
died, but you want some Tamfastics.
Exactly.
Matt's
But then
systemic
And
Demographic,
holidays. They do holidays
they
too.
do holidays as well. What?
And
Hey, jack
banks.
of all trades. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do banks as co-op bank.
Banks.
Yeah, bank, yeah.
They co-op,
You
mate.
know?
Yeah, they have a lot, mate. They have a lot. This is not a brand deal for co-op, by the way.
I think is I could actually I could trust co-op to do that, you know. But I feel like if Tesco did that, they'd just capitulate as a bank.
They've got a bank.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
Tesco has a bank.
Tesco's a
They've all
bank,
got
and
banks.
Tesco
Sainsbury's
Mobile.
got bank, yeah.
Tesco Mobile, Tesco Bank.
I know, no. If I call up the phone, yeah, and then it goes to Tesco Mobile or Gift Gaff Mobile, I'm never calling them again.
Mate, I'm sorry, but your friends are ignoring you.
I've got gift gaff.
Nah.
And I bought my
calling
car
you, Robbie.
from Tesco's.
What?
How? How?
They did it for like a year or two. You could buy it online. I don't know anything about cars, so I don't really like the concept of buying a car. I don't want to have to talk to some bloke about a car. I don't know, I just want a car. Have you got any cars, mate? Yeah, I'll have one. That's what I want it to be like for me. So I basically went, and they had a website. You just go on there, you go, I want this car, and you pay like 150 quid deposit or something, a second-hand car, and then they'll bring the car round, and they go, do you want the car? I go, yep. They go, okay, take the rest of the money. Here's your car.
Like in the car park?
In your house. They drive to your house.
It's actually someone's dropped off their car in the car park and it's been sold by the person who's actually supposed to be washing the cars.
Either way, I've got a car. So yeah, so some bloke just brings a car around, you get the car, you order it on the internet. There's a company that does that now, I think Kazoo or something, not a brand deal. But I think it's the same sort of thing as Tesco's tried to do then. So yeah, I bought my car from Tesco's. That's my loyalty to Tesco's.
I think that adds to Tesco's case, because you don't get a little petrol station, do you? You don't.
No.
Imagine a little
You don't.
petrol station.
That's a good point.
You get a Costco petrol station.
Do you?
You've been to Costco.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about Costco.
Well, it's
Yeah,
different,
bro,
innit?
because-
It's different.
because you're
Oh,
near-
it's Costco off it, the coffee place.
Costa.
Costa. Aye, Costco.
Bro, Costco.
You're a weekly shop at
But that's
Costa.
because your Costco's like 70 miles away. You need to make a full fucking weekend out of it.
And you need a card. You need a card. It's only exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
exclusive.
I've got a card. I can get you in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine one of those 24-hour videos on YouTube, but in Costco.
People have done them.
In Costco?
Yeah.
Wow. I might have to.
The
give
only
this a
time I
watch.
went to Costco is they used to do Iron Brew, brought out Fiery Iron Brew once. And when it went out with limited edition, I went, and for 50p, I got about fucking 100
50p?
Iron Brew bottles.
Yeah.
And it took me about a year to finish them, yeah.
That's mental. But yeah, what's the membership? How much do you have to pay for Costco membership?
I guess I'd say it's like 25 quid, but they only accept certain people. So it's like your annual membership. But then, so you have, like, if you've got a limited company, that's how I've got mine through my business. But like, if you're like a teacher or certain professions, you can get Costco membership.
I have a
and there's
limited
different types of membership. There's like trade membership, which I've got a limited company. And there's other membership, and you can go in at different times. If you're a trade member, you can go in slightly earlier
like
than,
a
really?
than the Costco scum.
So is everyone
I was upper class Costco goers.
And the plebs
Go
in
where
the
we
car
want.
park saying, please let me in.
Yeah.
is everyone like looking at each other if you're in early, like?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
The other thing as well,
One of us.
the other thing you can do if you're a trade customer, you can buy big packs of painkillers, which you can't do if you're individual, because there's limits legally to how many packs of Anodin you can buy. So in case you want to kill yourself, it makes it
Easy
harder.
access.
So if you want to,
So
you have
if
to
you've got
start
trade
business
accounts,
first.
yeah, you start a business if you got to really plan it properly. Yeah.
So
That's a long way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So
Start up a
Costco
business.
don't sell cars or anything. They never sell
They don't
cars.
sell cars, no, but they now have a petrol station that's very cheap. There's no people there. You have to swipe your membership card and then get in there, but cheapest petrol around, yeah.
So, just to get us back to the question, I put my cards on the table for Tesco, so does Robbie. You say Waitrose, Tory, and Cam.
Aldi.
Aldi.
I just can't.
Where's the petrol stations?
There's not, but they have Jive biscuits. And Jive biscuits are just
What
incredible.
the fuck is a
It's
Jive
like a Twix,
biscuit?
but it's cheaper and
Oh,
thicker.
what's their Mars bar one is called again?
Racers. Not Snickers. I don't know. There's,
not
fuck it
Snick-
up.
oh, the-
Titans.
Titans.
Yeah,
Titans.
Titans.
None of
Titans
these.
are good though.
None
Yeah,
of these
I like them.
supermarkets. That's the word. Got there in the end. None of them do car insurance, though, do they?
No, none of them do car insurance.
Tesco probably fucking do.
No, but Tesco isn't on the bill here.
If you wanted to get your car insurance, where would you go though?
Do you know, Robbie, where you'd go?
Is it Adrian Flux?
It is Adrian Flux.
What a man!
It's Adrian Flux, the people that will save you money on your next car insurance policy. Now I know what you're thinking, Cam. You're a young strapping lad. Yes. And who was your first car insurance policy with? I'll tell you, Michael. It was with Adrian Flux. They helped me insure my car for cheaper than I was going to get. Now, how can they do that? Basically, if you click the first link in the description right now, takes you about 2 minutes, you will get on a landing page where you'll put in some details, put in some more details, and you'll get a quote for your next car insurance policy. Now, normally, what happens with Adrian Flux is they can offer you a black box deal, which can sometimes, most of the time, half your policy. From anywhere from £600, £400 can half your policy now. Click the first link in the description. Now, thank you to Adrian Flux for sponsoring this week's episode of the podcast.
Can I just say, Adrian Flux sounds fucking brilliant.
Thank you, Robbie. So if you want to do that, check the link in the description. We would really appreciate that. And one thing you're really passionate about when you meet anyone is the bin day routine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, why is that, first of all?
Because I did a video that did quite well when I mentioned my bin day routine and thought I'd make it my own for money.
Brands, yeah.
Yeah.
Merch as well.
Merch, bin day t-shirt. Should have brought some.
Because that can also be a touchy subject in this house, and I think it really does stem from past issues that me and Cam have dealt with in the council house days. How was there bin routine in the council house days, Cam?
I don't think there was a routine. You know, I think
wasn't.
We used to just.
I think it would disgust you.
Yeah, we would just we would always miss our bin day, so we'd put there would be about 10 bin bags in the back garden, and I remember when we had to take them out, there was rats and everything in the back garden. Which
there was maggots in the.
Oh, that was all right though. Maggots.
The maggots were all right.
Yeah,
that was a tame
they
one.
Were sound.
The rats will kill the maggots.
Yeah. If anything, the own problems with assortment to that.
That is disgusting.
That's rank. Yeah.
There's one quote that I still remember, and it sticks with me vividly. And it's when we had a friend come round to the house once, and I was putting my shoes on, and he goes, "Where are you going?" I went, "The kitchen."
Yeah.
I had to put my shoes on for the kitchen because it was that.
It was.
And it wasn't purely because we didn't have money. We couldn't really. So we'd miss the bin days. Then we didn't have money to drive to the closest tip. So I think after 6 months we had about 30 bins in our back garden. He's sitting there and discussing right now.
Genuine question. Was this house like already a shithole when you moved in, or did it? Was it a slightly?
Oh no, we could have made something out of it. But
it was an ex-police station.
It was, yes.
Yeah, and there was like interrogation rooms which are still there, and then we moved into it.
Yeah, but we can't lie, we did make it a lot worse than what it was. That landlord, I think, still is recovering from this day.
What would you say the perfect bin day routine is, Robbie?
I really like my bin day, and it gets a bit of stick because I don't have like wheelie bins. I have black bin bags like in the olden days, and because people think, oh, that's terrible. You get to put out unlimited waste, if you want something. There's no we've got to cram this into a wheelie bin. Otherwise, after Christmas, first bin collection's a nightmare if you've got a limited amount of stuff you can put in. But you put out black bin bags, and what I like about it, so there's one for that, there's one for recycling. They go out the same day. They're collected every week. A lot of places these days collect them less regularly. Only downside of where I am, we have to take glass to a bottle bank. Again, like it's the 80s.
To a bottle bank?
Yeah, it's like a thing. It was where I had when I was growing up.
Bank.
You have to go and deliver. It's like little holes, and you put your bottles.
You never heard of a bottle bank?
So how often
Never.
do you need to go to a bottle bank?
Depends how much I've drunk.
We back in my little town, if you had a bottle and you returned it, I think they stopped it after a while. But if you had a glass bottle and you returned it to the shop you got it from, you'd get 20 pence.
20 pence?
So they used to sell Iron Brew in these big glass bottles, and if you returned them, obviously because if you smash glass, whatever, if you returned them as they were, you'd get 20 pence.
Really?
I used to live in Vancouver, and there they have a similar system. It's but even with plastic bottles as well, and it works quite well because people will bring their bottles back. But if they do throw them out, homeless dudes go through the bins and collect loads of bottles and go, "I've got 100 bottles," so they still get recycled.
Oh shit!
They've gone through the bins and done this. So they were just bringing a bag. I mean, admittedly, if you work at a gas station like I do, you don't have loads of plastic bottles everywhere. But it works quite well because people do go through and then do the recycling. Other people can't be asked to do it and then get the bag, 5 cent bag.
And then they can set up a limited company off that and then get a Costco card.
Wow.
Works well, doesn't it?
You know, with the bins, the black bins, you just put them out. Is there a certain bit for them, like a certain thing? Or
you put them at the edge of your grounds, at the edge of the property.
Grounds?
By the pavement, basically, yeah. Oh. So I've got a driveway, so I go to the end of the driveway and I put them there just inside the driveway so I'm not blocking up the pavement.
They're thinking for that people.
But the thing about that is as well, you can't put them out the night before or foxes are going to ravage them. You see people do it and you just go past and they've got all the contents of all the
they're
stuff
like
they've
just shaking
got
your head.
in the street. You just get your mug.
They're so
quite suburban.
Is it quite suburban? It's a village.
Yeah. As in, like, describe to me your house. Like,
you want to
it's
say
a setup. No, I do not want that. Just the
GPS
setup.
coordinates?
It's a detached house. It's quite nice. Got 5 toilets.
5 toilets?
That's a lot of toilets.
That is my
isn't it?
dream.
Fucking hell.
Oh my gosh.
There's quite a lot.
that
My
your
mum
shit,
lives in a
right?
granny annex on the side of the house.
Yeah.
So she's got 1 toilet there. We've got a downstairs toilet. And then upstairs we've got the main bathroom and then 2 en suites.
What's the toilet that gets absolutely fondled with when you get everyone over? When you have like a party?
What, as in, which one? I mean, yeah, I think you're saying how many parties I have. But yeah, which toilet gets most use? You're saying, well, the downstairs one, because there's only one downstairs.
I can tell what Charlie's thinking. He's getting,
Yeah.
You can see him getting angry. His little vein in his forehead comes out when he gets angry.
Do you want to say when we have our parties what
Go
happens?
on. What happens, Charlie?
Just my toilet always gets fucked up like every single time. So I love I'm happy for you that you have a choice of toilet. Like, if you fancied going somewhere else.
Didn't you say there was a notorious pisser on the
floor?
floor?
Okay, Robbie, think about this. Yeah, so I have my bathroom, my toilet, and I have lots of toilet rolls, and because it's the downstairs toilet, like, people use it. So then obviously the toilet rolls diminish, and then I just like, okay, I have to buy some more. And sometimes when you just look at it, you just think, wow, it's really nice to see like a mountain of toilet rolls. It just looks great. I think I've got slight PTSD from the beginning of coronavirus when all the toilet roll went missing. But then when you have people over and then a few alcoholic beverages, I can see we have 2 lovely ones right there, which we'll try in a minute. And then it just seems to happen that when people drink a little bit more, they just don't know where the fucking toilet is anymore. So I end up just walking in and I'm in Shrek Swamp, piss all over the floor. And I'm like,
My friend Stu at university used to live in a toilet, essentially, because he was in a student house and he was the last person to come there when they got the rooms. And his room, it was quite a big room. It was like a normal room, but it just had it was completely normal apart from next to the bed was like a working toilet. Not in a separate room, but it was like an ensuite. He just was literally
Like a
in there.
prison cell.
And he came there, he was the last person moving there, so that was the room he had. And everyone else was like obviously no one's ever going to use this toilet, but you've got a toilet next to your bed. He's like, okay, fine, because you're quite easygoing. He goes, so that lasted. Obviously, no one did use the toilet for a bit, and then occasionally he'd be out, and if there's anyone downstairs, they go, I might just quickly go and just go for a quick wee. So they do that sort of thing, and eventually got to the point where I remember that it finally came to a head when his girlfriend was asleep in bed and got woken up by someone just pissing in the toilet. Going, right, we need new toilet rules. So yeah,
I would lose my rag.
Imagine you woke up and someone's having a shit.
yeah.
Because there's always that one pesky shitter on a night out, where someone just disappears for a little bit. But we don't really have night outs anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
Soon to return.
So we just have them within our social bubble.
I think it's a good time now in the podcast. I want to try the lovely, are these IPAs?
Yeah, Bin Day IPA. It's my homebrew beer.
Yes.
This. So I started at the start of lockdown. I brewed some beer, and it turned out I could actually brew beer quite well. It turned out quite nicely, and I've been working on this. This is my own recipe now. Previously, it was different kits. This is my own recipe. I think you're going to like it. I think this is really good.
Has it been like
You can see it
refined?
steaming off as well.
Yeah. Has it been refined like,
Party!
I should say they've been in my bags. They might be a bit shaken up.
He's trying to sabotage me. He's from Happy Hour. There's an inside man.
It's just not
ruined
stopping.
I gave a box.
It's just not stopping.
Nice though, isn't it, Cam? Even the froth that is exploding in your mouth is pleasant. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know why he didn't start pouring it into the glass again rather than just letting it all froth out
No,
of the floor.
Robbie, what's happening here? This one's starting.
So again, they've been in my bag
Mate.
and they've
Thanks,
probably
Are
a bit
these just
shaken
little
up.
volcanoes?
Yeah.
Can you put it in a glass? I don't want to touch your lips, Charlie. I don't know what they've been.
I've poured it in a glass.
We only have one.
They traditionally wouldn't do that if they hadn't been shaken around in my bag for so long.
Yeah. You've tried it all
So
before.
the other thing you might have is you might have a little bit of yeast in them. Not bad for you, but it might be a bit.
So what's the flavour? Is it
So
supposed
I
to be
think
like
this is a
bin
sort of,
juice?
so this is a vaguely tropically flavoured thing. I'd say I'm gonna have some too.
By the way, that was wonderful, even though it was exploding in my mouth.
It's basically what I didn't realise until I started making beer was that generally it's the same 4 ingredients. Thank you very much. It's the same. It's water, yeast, hops, and malted barley. And And the fact that, so that's the same, if you've got like a stout or Guinness type thing, it's the same for ingredients, just different types of each than a sort of lagery type thing will be.
Yeah, we used to make ethanol.
Where
Where was
the idea to make this from?
As in beer in general?
Yeah, just in starting.
Just something to do at the start of
like
lockdown.
lockdown
Yeah, got a bit bored, yeah.
I love that. So can you actually explain to me, because these are IPAs, right?
Yeah.
So
Are
is
these the
that
same
an
flavour,
Indian
first of all?
Indian Pale Ale, yeah. Although it's sort of an American...
Are they the same
sort of-
flavour?
Yeah, they're all the same. They're the same flavour, yeah. They're sort of vaguely...
So because you've got IPAs,
Yep.
you've got APAs, right? American Pale Ales.
yeah.
Um,
So there's pale ale is normally a little bit less strong than an IPA sort of thing. And there's also... So it all varies depending on the different blend of ingredients you have and what malt you use and stuff like that. So and it's not that complicated doing it. I've done this is out after Wednesday. Yeah. So I'm starting a brewery with my friend Mike, and the idea is I'm going to do a collaboration beer with Doc's Brewery, Doc's Beers up in Grimsby.
Okay.
So I've been up there. We've made a beer together, sort of thing. It's going to be available for
That's
sale.
class.
That's
And
amazing.
then the plan after that is to try and make Bin Day IPA eventually. So I haven't got $200,000 to buy a brewery at the minute. So we're usually going to use other people's facilities and sort of go, look, can we pay you to hire this out and do that? And then eventually the long-term plan will be to start an actual physical brewery.
That's so exciting.
That's
Isn't it?
amazing.
YouTube breweries. The idea being that
YouTube
any
boxing,
YouTuber who's
YouTube
like
brewery.
25 or older because of
Yeah.
licensing, so Blue Van Man could come down and brew a beer and sell it.
Can I invest?
Oh my God,
can I
that would
invest
be,
in
that's
shares?
so
It's
good.
a
Can I
hashtag a
do
beer. It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, so good.
BrewTube.
You're like the merch company.
Breach I like that.
And are we sticking with the name? Is it still going to be Bin Day?
Bin Day Brewing Company.
Bin Day Brewing?
Can I invest in shares in this? As
Yeah,
I am an
eventually.
avid beer.
Yeah,
beer
my crypto's down, so I'd like
fan.
to invest in some shares.
Yeah, eventually.
Thank
Yeah, but yeah, no, so it's
Oh,
so
no,
that's
you're not
that's the
going for a
idea of it.
sniff First. I'll go for a sniff.
It's not wine.
It's not wine.
It's not wine. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm just an exquisite taster then.
That's lovely.
Tropical. Smells like holiday.
It's genuinely good, isn't it? Like
That is really nice. Like really nice. I was half expecting.
Yeah, everyone's
like go.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah,
everyone's like, I thought I was just going to have to be polite.
I made beer once when I was at school.
It's quite strong as
we
well.
did it in biology, and mine was shit. Like,
Yeah.
it really wasn't nice.
My memory of homebrew beer was as a kid when people could buy these kits from Boots and drink it, and they say it just stank. Like your mate's dad would make it, it'd stink out their kitchen. It's disgusting.
We got to do that in chemistry. We got to make our own. I think it was wine. And I was like, oh yeah, mine looks really good. And I asked my chemistry teacher, can I taste it? And he went, I think you will die if you have that. And I was like, oh, okay. So mine didn't really go that well.
Yeah, I didn't get why they made us make beer and alcohol in school if we weren't allowed to have it because we were underage. But why were you teaching underage people how to make alcohol?
I'm not too sure.
But I didn't like it. This is really nice. This has given me hope that maybe I can revisit my childhood failures.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if this was the first video you done surrounding the Bin Day IPA, but you done a video where you compared that to the Elvis.
Yeah, so the idea was the kit I bought, it was just like a kit you can get for
Elvis
like
juice.
50 quid.
Yeah.
And it was to try and make an Elvis
actually.
juice thing. And it tasted nothing like the Elvis juice.
Didn't
Lloyd Griffith.
Lloyd
he
Griffith.
tasted it and preferred
Yeah, yours.
the one. Which I sort of, I mean, it wasn't the way it's supposed to taste. It didn't taste like grapefruit or anything like the other beer. But it is it will be fresher. I mean, and it won't be made in the same way as Brewdog's now sort of.
When
it's
was
sort of
this
quite.
brewed? Yeah, they're
this
very
was,
mainstream now, aren't they?
15th of March.
Yes.
So.
I'm actually really excited by this idea that you're going to start collaborations with YouTubers.
So the idea is as well to film everything because I don't know anything about starting a brewery, but I can meet people who do. So we're following the whole journey along. So I've started. There's a separate YouTube channel, Bin Day Brewing Company.
Okay, I was
Stuff like that.
What would everyone
go from?
go with? Type of flavour, vibe would you go with?
Oh, I want to make
For
a
YouTube.
banana. I want to make a
Banana?
If you've obviously, I'm assuming if you've making beers, you know beers. But
I've had some. I've drunk some.
yeah. Do you like banana beer? It's lovely.
I think I've had one thing. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
There was a place in Leeds where I forget the name of it. I went there, and it had like all of these. Say for example, like local breweries and stuff like that, and they come in. They have just so many different types of beers, like beers which are like 9% or something stupid. Like after you have a pint, you're pissed. But they have like all different types of flavors. So obviously, you have like your standard. If you go to a pub, you get like your IPAs, your ales, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you'll be like, oh, a little bit of like Beavertown. You know, like they have like quite a few. I like Beavertown. And then they have other weird stuff, like there's craft and all the way up to like different types of things. There's like a pumpkin beer and then banana beer. I was like, wow.
It's very cool. Collaborative industries where it reminds me of the sort of YouTube sort of thing. I think it fits quite well because you can get breweries who aren't really competing against each other. They sort of work together and all this in a similar way that I think a lot of YouTube is compared to when I came from TV when everyone was a bit weird about that.
But you go.
I was just going to say, I think I would simply go for a lime green apple, tropical apple cider.
Oh, really?
A cider, so you're mixing away from beer.
A tropical,
can't make cider.
Tropical apple. Because I think
apple beer.
Yeah, apple beer doesn't really sound.
I feel like that would be like a really wrong one.
So I'd have to be a tropical apple, a little bit spice to it cider. I think I'd have to be.
So if for collaborations on this, do you have to be over 25?
I don't. I think there are rules. I think to show someone drinking alcohol, I think you have to be over 25, I think, in marketing. I don't know the full details.
Charlie's
So, Robbie, I turned 25 in about 3 weeks. So I will be belling up your line to try and make our beautiful banana beer.
Marvellous.
These little punks have got 3 years.
3 years.
2 years for you?
Actually, he's got 2 years. He's getting old.
No, I'm 22.
You're 23 this year, mate. 23 this year.
You're 23 this year, but you're like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But you're 3.
But that is something I'd be really interested in doing. Just something that's a bit... Obviously, everyone has clothing... People are starting to do trainers, but no one's really gone down like a kind of drinks, kind of beer kind of route.
It's something which I spoke to Harry about a while ago, because I got a couple of potential brand deals that came through, but I wasn't 25, so I couldn't get them, and so it's like fuck.
Yeah, I could go to the Champions League final because it was with Heineken.
That's really sad.
I was gutted.
But I think you're.
One, so it's okay.
I think you're definitely onto something there. I think that's really it's quite an exciting thing.
It'd be fun, and and there's different stages to it as well. So it's not like something that you have to really go all in on early on. We can sort of there's no risk of this sort of collaboration brew sort of thing because another brewery's done it all and done all the hard bits sort of thing, and they're going to sell it through their sites. And then eventually go, okay, we need to take to the next stage where we need to be selling it ourselves, so we're doing a bit of selling it yourself, because then you need certain licensing and you need premises and all this. To eventually where you have to raise money to get a actual brewery.
So is all the production done by them and you're just kind of the marketers?
So we went up and brewed it with them. So we discussed what we did. They came up with a recipe because they know more about it than us, and we just discussed that. And we made a pilot version, which is like 120, 150 bottles. I should have brought some of that for you. Oh, I'm not 25. I couldn't bring that probably. This is homebrew. It's fine. So we did the we made the sort of pilot version to check it was all right, and then now we've made it in the big kit, which is going to go into cans, 440ml cans. And there's going to be, I think, something like 5,000 of those. It's quite a lot.
Are you getting like marketing, like people to like do the designs and stuff? Like what's
so they've all got agencies and stuff that did that. So we have got market. We've sort of fed into that and come up with the name and the idea for it. And they've all seemed happy with it.
Is this the final product? Is there going to be some changes
to
it?
This is nothing. This isn't the one that we're making with the brewery. So this is the one that eventually we want to sell. That's our own one. So the other one that we're doing is a.
It's really strong. I'll tell you that. It's gone to my head.
Yeah. What, have you eaten yet?
Not really. No.
So
it's gone to my head.
Is this like when you're gonna have a drink in the house? Is it like straight? Do you go to the shop still and buy beers, or do you just go for that?
I've started during lockdown. I will sometimes, partly because I've got to get through them. Because I wanted to keep developing recipes and make different types of beers. So now we've this one I'm pretty happy with. I want to try different styles and go, okay, so make a porter or a stout or whatever, different sort of things. So that then eventually we can do different types of beers. But the problem is, you've just got loads of beer in the house. I'm going to all people who live near me going, take as much beer as you want, drink it, as long as you bring back the bottles, because I don't have to buy more bottles. So yeah, I do, but I also buy beer from other breweries, directly from the breweries, to taste what sort of things people are doing.
What I find interesting about your audience is, I was watching a few of your videos where you've brewed on camera. I think one of the top commenters, I don't have like any clue about beer. I'm not really interested in it, but just like the whole process of you making, it's quite like fun for people to watch.
I think if you're honest that you don't know what you're doing, I think it's people buy it. I think it's if you try and pretend, I'm an expert at this, when you don't know what's going on. Yeah. But like openly be going, like with this thing again, like the beer's no longer explode. I think we put that on the certainly on the pilot batch. I don't know if it made it to the final label for the can, but on the pilot batch it says on the label, this is the first Binde Brewing Company beer that wasn't made in Robbie's kitchen and the first one that doesn't explode or something like that. I can't
And you can
remember.
turn it into your own little series as well, like how you've got like having a walk with, having a beer with, or making a beer with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then only
Bang,
use your
it's-
products.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much you could do. If when you start a physical brewery, if you have a tap room with it, you could have sort of YouTube events and stuff like that. There, you could do
I
all
was
sorts.
about to say, imagine the ultimate flex, that you'll have someone coming over to your house, just like friends, whatever. And they'll be like, should we bring drinks? You'll be like, don't worry.
I'll bring a keg.
Fine, yeah, I'll bring a keg. But you literally just turn around and you've just got 15 cans just inside of your
I
fridge.
had a nightmare of a keg once. We bought like a keg just for pre-drinks before we went out, and I was in my mate's uni flat, and we couldn't really figure it out. We're like, this is, and it exploded. Like I can't remember how I did it, but I turned it too.
Did you stab
too
the
much.
keg?
And no, I was actually doing it the way, and it just fucking exploded, went all over his flat, like all over. And I was covered in Copperberg, and I just looked at him like this. And
Oh, is it one of them copper kegs?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, they were strange, them.
And it exploded
Yeah.
everywhere, mate.
They were
everywhere.
You fucked it.
So, would you consider doing like big kegs like that with the beer? Or is it just kind of bottles and cans?
I think eventually you do kegs as well. For this one, it's mostly going in can. They're keeping a few kegs to sell in their tap room.
And is there like a certain, so you said 5,000 cans, is there like a certain amount you need to sell to make sure you get like another order after this? Or
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is a one-off sort of thing for now. I mean, I think their beers tend to sell out anyway, so I think it will hopefully sell out. But yeah, no, it's going to be available online. Hopefully it will sell out relatively quickly. But
Let me ask you a
You'll buy
question,
50.
because I'm genuinely intrigued about like profit margin when it comes to something like that. All right, say for example, how much for one bottle would you retail that at?
so I'm by no means an expert
No, just
in
personally.
this, but I think there's different margins depending on how things are sold in a lot of these things. I think generally there's not a huge markup on a lot of beer. Things like a lot of breweries that have their own tap room, that's good because you can make it at sort of cost price, but you're selling it at pub price sort of thing. So that's how a lot of people. There's a lot of quite successful breweries that have that brew pub sort of model sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know I don't really know the full details, but I know it's not they're not making like £3 a can.
Because surely the most expensive part of like making beer and stuff would be the investment in the brewery, right? And the maintenance.
It's
of
a lot
that,
of it, and
'cause
things like
you said
this
it
have a
was
lot
only
of
hops and water. And
Yeah, but they have a lot of hops in, a lot more than you would get in a lot of the sort of more mainstream beers. And that's why craft beer costs quite a lot more than a Heineken or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it is an expensive thing to buy all the kit sort of thing. But there's people that make it work.
I think you need to, you and Betty, Babino Betty, should do a strong ones, but only on Robbie Knox's IPAs.
That's
Can you
fucking
imagine
unreal.
that?
That'd be a great idea.
If they're homebrew ones, it's fine. I think if they're proper brew ones, then you get into the dodgy sort of 25-year-old. She's not 25, is she? No.
No,
Is she?
No, she's
No,
younger
I
than me.
thought she's like 2 years older, or 1 year older.
No,
Same age as you,
she's
mate.
younger than me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was like 24.
No, she's 98. You're 98.
Oh, is she?
98 years old.
Ah.
98 years old, yeah.
So, what are you rating the beer then? What we're saying?
I'm not a massive fan of beer, but first of all, the smell, tropical. I love it. Very tropical, I love it. Well,
So it's the hops in it. So it's got
strong-
Savro in it, which is quite a controversial hop. A lot of
I
people don't like. It's got sort of
I
coconutty
generally feel
taste.
after maybe 2 of them, I'd get pissed. Like,
Two?
pissed.
It's 6.4%.
Yeah,
so yeah.
bro, it's went to my
That's-
fucking head.
How
Like,
much is
what,
like
like
Copperberg
Heineken-
and that?
Copper, I don't know about Copper Beer. They're usually like 4% or something. Like your standard lager is like what, anywhere between 3 and 5 at a max.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think. I think I'm not sure what Brew Dogs at Pump Cup. It's probably about 5.4 or something. I'd guess. I don't know. A lot of sort of things are in the sort of 5 range, and then
Have
down to 6.
the kids have a little swatch of it yet?
Not yet. Do you know how old you have to be to drink alcohol as a kid in this
5.
country?
5.
5.
5?
Inside, inside your own home, surrounded by someone over the age, you can be 5 years old.
5?
So my 7-year-old son Otto, I could give him a pint at home. Arlo's got to wait another year. He's only 4. Not till you're 5, son.
But I quite like that though, because everyone's just like, oh, 18, but it's not.
It's
only
5.
18 to drink.
5 seems mentally low.
So low. Oh, good day at reception. There you go. Year 1 next year.
Copperberg is 4 to 4.5%. So you got an extra 2% on that.
Do you remember that there was a... do you remember William Hague, the politician? There was a story years ago, right? A Conservative politician. There's a story about how he, in an article where he said that he had been he used to work delivering beer, and he used to have a pint at every place he stopped off. So he said he used to have like 14, 15 pints a day. And I was like, that's such a made up lie. Because no one's drinking 14 pints a day at work every day. And I was thinking, this is it sounds like something that someone who doesn't really drink beer has made up, like, thinking that's what a decent amount of beer is. And I remember for years laughing at this, going, do you remember when William Hague said that? And then a couple of years ago, I was in Shoreditch, I got in an Uber, and I had all my filming gear with me, and the guy was saying, guys, what's in the bag? I said, I'm filming stuff. He said, do you used to be on TV? I said, well, I used to be in Soccer Aim. He goes, oh, yeah, no, I recognise you from that. He goes, you're the second famous person I've had in my car today. This is like 11 in the morning, 11:30 in the morning. I said, who's that? He goes, look at this. He put out a picture of him and William Hague, this Conservative politician. I said, oh, well, is that William Hague? He went, yeah. I said, where did you drop him off? He goes, I just dropped him off at this pub in Shoreditch, going on an all-day session with his mate. I was like, so William Hague is actually some kind of brilliant legend. Yeah, I've been slagging him off for years. The guy's made that up. He's actually on these amazing drinking
Can you imagine being an Uber driver, second most famous person in the car at 11:30 in the morning?
Yeah, 12 o'clock, you've got a KSI in the front.
I once went up, this is showing how old this story is. I once went up when I was at Soccer Aim to Glencoe, stayed up in Scotland, and went to this like famous walking in up there. I can't remember what it's called now. But I went in there, and this guy... It's really remote. I mean, if you're into Glencoe,
Glencoe's my favourite place.
It's unreal. But it's so... It feels like nothing else in Britain. Sort of, when the wind goes through, we went in December.
That's why I like
snow. It's amazing. I love it.
It's like no signal, nothing, just you. Yeah, I've got a voucher for a hotel there. I'm going to go.
Oh, good. Well, so we went in there, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and we went in, and this guy went, oh. I said, got booking. He said, I know, I was watching you on TV today. I was like, oh, you didn't watch Soccer Aim from here? He goes, yeah. He goes, you're the second most famous person we've had in here. I went, oh, who's the first? He goes, Jimmy Savile. And this was prior to the news.
Accusation.
I was like, okay. Fine, let's hope.
He's going to say William Hague.
Jimmy Savile has a cottage up in Glencoe. Like, he's got a cottage up in Glencoe.
That's why it's your favourite place.
And I don't know why, as soon as he died, someone bought it from him. And so you can't destroy it, but it gets vandalised every time someone.
So
goes
why
up
would
there.
someone buy that?
I don't know. That's the question.
Conspiracies.
Because the windows get smashed. There's spray paint all over it, saying "Beast, pedo," whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another pedo.
It's his pedo in arms.
Yeah.
Imagine you are that person though, because I think it's a bit of a strange thing to buy a renowned paedophile's house, because that's probably going to happen. But if you know that Jimmy Savile no longer lives there, someone bought the house and clearly just wants to like live their happy life, and then they're just... Imagine you bring a friend over and you've just got nonce sprayed all over your walls.
Yeah.
It's not really a good thing for a first date, is it?
No, it's not.
They don't live there. I think they were planning on like renovating it, and then they've looked at that decision now and went, probably not the best idea.
Dreadful idea.
Why do you think he had it? He had a house in the middle of fucking nowhere. Middle of nowhere.
Oh, that would have some
Oh,
dirty secrets in those walls. Ooh.
Yeah, of course. That's
Can we move on? Because that's very uncomfortable.
There's a house in Crawley that I remember reading. There's an article about this terrorists that had this house, and it was basically the police had raided all this. And it was talking about reading the article about the house that they'd rented, and it said how done the house that was previously owned by notorious child murderer. So I was like, can you imagine being the estate agents on this? Who's lived in it before? Yeah, it's a terrorist and a child murderer. Yeah, not great.
It's two owners.
Well, I don't know how many.
I mean, that's an unlucky house. It's two owners.
Completely separate things. A famous
separate.
child murderer and a terrorist.
So they both lived in that one house?
Yeah. I mean, have that Foxtons.
See, if I was an estate agent, I'd like promote it as like, it's a versatile house. Right, it's a house which can create a lot of different kind of people. Yeah. You know, it can a lot of adventures.
Raise you right
with your channel. What is like your goals for the future? Do you have like obviously you're saying you're gonna document your beer on another channel, but on your personal channel, do you have any like things that are in the works? Anything that you can kind of excited about? No.
Next question, Robbie.
Anyway,
I've been doing the walk videos that you very kindly did. It was a lot of fun, and so I'm going to start doing those up again. I've been trying to do it for the last 3 weeks, which has been raining every single day. Yeah. So I'm going to start doing up those again, and just anything generally.
You've been doing your Twitch streams a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, because it was really easy to do during
Football Manager. I seen
Mönchengladbach.
Do you know
Dunfermline for a bit? Yeah.
Do you know who he was managing?
Dunfermline, mate. I was in them.
He was managing
I was a sub.
Dunfermline. He was managing Dunfermline. I was like, what? Because you thought, I was like, that's such a funny story. Because I was like, that's my local team, and you were saying, what was it? You said your mate was friends with Jim Leishman.
Yeah, so my friend Gordon.
That's so strange.
So his wife is Jim Leishman's daughter.
Yeah, and then that's your tie to Dunfermline.
Yes,
so,
essentially. Yeah,
is that your favourite Scottish team?
No.
What's your favourite Scottish team then?
My granddad was a Rangers season ticket holder, so I've always liked Rangers. But then I've got a lot of friends who are Dundee United fans.
What about Celtic?
I've got a lot of friends who are Celtic fans. I'm not particularly.
If you
Dunfermline's in the picture.
If you choose,
I like Dunfermline as well.
If you choose either Rangers or Celtic, like the other end of the fans, like abuse you so badly.
Bro,
that's very much why I'm saying I also got a lot of
Partick
friends.
Thistle.
Yeah, Partick Thistle. Mate, you should see my live streams, my comment sections, my DM. So Celtic Rangers. I go fucking neither. And I used to say to you after the Old Firm, whoever's team lost, let's say Rangers lost, Rangers fans wouldn't come into school the next day because they knew they'd get fucking
Very
just
bizarre.
abused.
I mean, I've always been Celtic because my granddad was Celtic, but I quite like Rangers. I'm not really a proper Scot. I'm really not.
You're not a proper Scot, really?
I'm half Scottish. I'm probably the most English Scottish person.
I couldn't tell.
I haven't got any English in me. I'm more English than Italian.
At Sucker End, we'd never get Rangers or Celtic fans on their own on the show. So if they were like playing together, we'd get both sets of fans on because it's just too much hassle to have one on there.
It's like Liverpool Everton. If you had a Liverpool fan, it'd be fine. Rangers Celtic for some reason.
It's another level.
Scottish football is still in the place where football in the Premier League was in the 90s and 80s. Like it hasn't become gentrified.
I just think,
bro, I love it. You see the tackles at Scottish games.
It's
funny.
No VAR.
It's fantastic.
There's no VAR.
No ref. Sometimes he goes off the pitch.
Think about the rivalries you've got. So you've got like Manchester Leeds. It's a big game for Leeds, but not really so much for Manchester. But so you've got Manchester United versus City, obviously. Then you've got Liverpool, Everton, West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal. These are supposed to be like really big games. Even like West Ham, Millwall. These are supposed to be huge games where you expect battles on the pitch. Every single time. Last time I've seen Liverpool versus Everton, it was the most stalemate match ever.
Always 0-0.
It's so boring. And I was like, where is the? I just want Eric Cantona to run on the pitch and two-foot
for
someone.
Liverpool. Yeah.
No, for United obviously. But I'm characters like that. Whereas it feels like it's still like that for Scottish football.
I think it's just hilarious how Scotland's like Celtic 170 points, Rangers 169, Dundee 7.
So earlier this year, I was getting so annoyed by VAR that I think me and a few friends are on a WhatsApp group said, should we just start supporting a Scottish team? And one of our mates has moved up to Dundee, so we said, let's start supporting Dundee United. So we're having our little jokes about that, going, lads, who do you think is going to finish top 2 in the SPL this year? Anyone got any ideas? I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah.
Dundee United, they used to have like Andy Robertson in that, didn't they?
Yeah, Dundee kind of fell off a little bit now.
Celtic used to have Van Dijk, no?
But they're doing, he was fucking unreal for them. Unreal.
I'm not surprised, mate.
Bro, he was on free kicks for them.
Bro, I'm not surprised, mate.
Bro, I think he scored a free kick once. He was fucking unreal.
I think rumours were that Gerrard was potentially going to leave Rangers to go to a Premier League team. I think would have been just the most horrendous thing for them.
I want him to come when Klopp leaves, but I think I also don't want to because of Lampard.
Yeah, because exactly. You see, I'd like him to be at Rangers for however long. Then, like what you say when Klopp takes it, that's like the ideal way. But will that happen? You know, some people be like, "Oh, you need to prove yourself in the Championship," but you know how fucking that.
Where
goes.
do you think, Robbie? You can give the answer first, and then other boys follow. If Rangers and Celtic did a Super League for them and just basically broke away from the Scottish League and came to the Premier League, which I genuinely think if they actually want to be taken seriously, then that's what they'd have to be doing. So Celtic and Rangers move to the Prem. Where do they finish in the league?
Are they? Is it with the current squad?
Yeah. Current squad. They'll obviously get money that does come through eventually. They will grow. But
mid-table,
right now.
I'd say.
Mid-table?
I reckon.
I generally think Rangers would be mid-table. I would say Celtic would be in the bottom 5, 6 at the moment, like with their current team. But Rangers have got a good squad. Like this is one thing that really annoys me as a Scottish football fan. They'll go, they're fucking, look at European scores versus Rangers. Fucking Celtic played Man City at their prime and they finished like 3-3 or something like that.
I agree. I don't understand why we have the EPL, the Premier League, but you have teams like Swansea, Cardiff, which are in the setup, but then you don't have a
And
team
then
like
they go to the
Rangers.
Championship.
Yeah, exactly. But then you don't have Rangers and Celtic.
It'll kill Scottish football.
Is there a Welsh league?
There is, yeah.
Yeah, but it was just so shite that I think that's why they did
Which
that.
is why you have those 2 Welsh teams in our setup. But I think
And Bristol, isn't that Wales?
No, but Wrexham.
Yeah.
Oh, Wrexham.
Swansea.
Scottish football would actually die if that happened.
The thing is, do Scottish fans of like genuine football not just get bored when it's always going to be Celtic or Rangers? Like it's just always going to be there.
It was Celtic for so long, wasn't it? 'Cause of what
Yeah,
happened
but
with
the Rangers like capitulate, but then they've worked their way back up. Do you know how corrupt that's got to be able to be double relegated and then come back up and then win the league?
Taking it right back to the question, like plans that you got any work? So like obviously you say you got your walks and stuff. Is just to keep you carrying them
just
on?
keep going. I mean, I've not got any. I've just reached 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I
so-
saw that.
Let's go, baby.
How was that?
You got
when
your
you
plaque?
hit it?
What's
Like,
that?
how did you feel when you hit that? It's like a big thing.
Not really. No, I was at Legoland. And someone messaged me, goes, "You're about to get 100,000 subscribers." I went, "Am I?" And looked at something out for ages.
How was that Lego?
Have you ordered your plaque? Is the plaque on the way?
No, I don't know.
Do you have to
Was
order
that-
it?
I don't know what you do.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, mate.
Was that just
Good
you
at
and
that.
the wife at Legoland? You know,
It's-
left the
it
kids
was-
behind.
Yeah, it's me and my own. On the lash. So it was all my kids' birthdays are in April, so we just it works out quite well. They're all born in April, like 3 years apart. We've got
What
a mating
day?
season.
I'm April 8th.
I'm April 12th. So
Oh,
Kitty's the
very good.
9th. Otto's
Titanic's?
what is the...
April 12th. Titanic sank.
You've managed to make that depressing.
Yeah. And Arlo's 22nd. So yeah, there's three of them. Yeah, 3 kids and me, all birthdays in April. Good month.
Who was
Knox
your
birthday month.
obviously you've been how many episodes of the walk have you done now? How many in total?
I'd guess 15. I don't know. Yeah.
So this is a question, and I see Cam's got it written down as well. I just want to ask, out of everyone you've taken the walk, who's been your favourite one? And
Obviously
probably
Cam.
your,
After me,
After
obviously.
Cam.
After-
No, including
no,
Cam.
it's okay. And Cam's for the next one, and your least favourite one. It doesn't have to be necessarily to do with them as a person, just like the whole day. Like if something really went wrong that day, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Favourite one. I really enjoyed the one with Becky because
Sorry, Cam.
we got drunk afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told me that. You just got pissed all day, didn't you?
It was so funny because when you meet someone, you sort of think, oh, I think we're going to get on well, but you never really know do you,
Until
for
you
the
do.
first time sort of thing. And it was so lovely because also I'd never have. She'd messaged me, I think first of all about something. I said we should do a video sometimes. Okay, because I don't think I ever would have messaged her because I think it's a bit weird, like 44 randomly messaging going to you, go, can you do a video or something?
Do you want to get drunk sometime?
I just think it would have been weird. I don't think I ever would have messaged them. I think it would have been weird. So we went out and did this, and we had such a lovely day together that all the way through, every hour or so, we were there for 8 hours just. We walked for a bit and then we went drinking. Every hour or so, one of us would go the other one and go, I'm having such a nice time. This is such a nice day. And it just went on like that. So I think that was probably my favourite for that reason. Least, I don't know.
Cam.
Least, I don't know.
Was it-
Camp was the day that lockdown started, wasn't it? That was
So,
announced
yeah.
while we were out.
So it was Cam.
So maybe for that reason. No, I don't.
I could take it.
No, well, that's the easy option because then I can say that and it's joking around. Whereas if I just slag off someone else, it's going to be
Mark Goldbridge.
So we'll go Cam.
It could be whether it just started torrential raining.
Stevie White one was rainy, but he had a leaf on his head throughout the entire thing.
a
which
leaf
made it
on
quite
his head?
good.
You don't remember
That's
that?
clever.
I didn't notice at the time, but he had this leaf fall on his head. It's like the entire thing. There's a leaf on his head. It's like, what? What's wrong with you?
What was Mark Goldbridge like?
Nice, yeah,
Yeah.
really nice, yeah. We literally just I got there, did the walk, and then got on the train back, went up to Birmingham to do it, sort of thing. But it was good. It was sound, yeah.
Is he fully in character the whole time, or is it like him?
I think he's similar, but he obviously plays it out. I think we've got a similar sort of thing.
Yeah,
in
you
that
do.
that we're sort of an exaggerated version of ourselves, possibly. And so but no, we were discussing, and in fact, we were saying how people often say to me, "Oh, you're so." People go, "You're so unintentionally funny." I'm trying. I'm not just documenting this, thinking this is a serious sort of thing. And he says he gets the same as well. So I got my last video. I got messaged going, "Man, this guy's so unintentionally funny." So I just texted to Mark going, "It's our favourite comment." And he's going, "One day we'll find out whether it's a compliment or not." So yeah, it was good. It was good.
You're all very your content is very similar. Where you're both kind of it's kind of like a Binde. He does his cooking. It's just kind of daily things, but use play up to it a little bit.
It just makes me crease. It used to be a police officer. I don't know why. It just makes me fucking crease.
I was just interested what he was like on the walk, because obviously it's not cut or anything. It's just like himself, and used to watch chilling.
No, he was good. He was just nice. Just as you'd expect. Yeah,
Just vibing.
Probably not as over the top.
Yeah.
But in that he's more chatty rather than playing a sort of character. But yeah, he was good.
I reckon you should take Hasbulla on a walk.
Who?
Oh God.
Hasbulla.
How have you managed to
Lebanese
somehow...
militant organisation.
That's going to be a deep one. Save that for a rainy day.
We were essentially, for people who are listening and watching right now, we were talking on the podcast as we cut cameras
About the massive fight.
About a massive fight which is happening in
With
Russia.
very little people.
But with very small people. And we asked Robbie if he knew who Hasbulla was, and he said, yes.
Yeah, I said, what, the Middle
He's a
East
bit
organisation?
confused.
And then he's going, you've got this YouTube channel. I was like, Hasbulla has got a YouTube channel.
I thought he was a big...
Doing the bindies.
At first, I thought he was an Abdul fan. I thought he was like who Hasbulla is. I thought he was like, oh, okay. But no,
Yeah.
no, just...
You say, well, we want to have a little, this wants to have a little chat about it. And I was thinking, well, if you like,
Open the window a little bit, you know.
pretty surprising topic of conversation.
Lewis, what are you trying to angle from this?
I wasn't. I was just saying Hasbulla is a perfect person. Let us know, guys. Who do you think will win, Hasbulla or Abdul?
Okay, so the next topic of
No,
conversation...
I want to keep it on your walks.
Yes, we'll go on to that.
Because who else have you had? You've had Helen Anderson,
Helen,
Jack.
Yeah, Kieran Carlin.
Kieran Carlin, yeah.
It was good.
Least favourite?
Was he my favourite?
No, after camp.
After no, it rained a bit. I'm just basing it on the weather. Everyone's been nice. It did rain a bit, but it was good. Who else have we had? Jack, Stevie White, the easy people to get. Blue Van Man.
Blue Van Man, he done well. What was your inspiration for starting that? Because I know obviously you can just say, I just want to have a walk with them, but was there certain like a video?
Laziness. Because the thing is, if you do something in a room, you have to have lighting, and if you do something in like a city, you have to worry about the sound. If you go to the countryside. It's just really easy, and I'm a lazy man. And so I just thought, well, I'll just do that. And I wanted to do something with to meet other people, sort of thing. And it's quite an easy thing. It was also I was decided doing it during the pandemic, where the only thing you were allowed to do consistently was go for a walk.
But it does.
That was
really,
a strange time.
Yeah, it does really well though, because it's people. It's not necessarily something which you'll sit down and be like, okay. But if if you're getting ready and you're doing stuff and you want like a chill 30-minute video in the background, I think it's really good for that, because it's kind of like a podcast, but it's in a different setting, so it doesn't feel like a podcast.
Like a podcast, but it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like
Same
you're
but
sort of
different.
eavesdropping on it.
Yeah,
There's a chat that's going on, and you happen to
Like a
be
fly on the
there.
wall.
Yeah.
And it's always, like we were saying about laziness as well, it's always easier to, because I know this when I do, collabs are so much easier because you don't have to worry about yourself all the time.
Yeah.
You can rely on them to do the dirty work.
Would you ever consider doing it more? I know there's a guy, I don't know if you know him, UFC guy, Brendan Traub.
Yeah, of course.
He has Below the Belt, which is exactly like your thing, which is like a walk, they'll have food, whatever, but it's like very high production, cameramen, different lenses, everything. Would you ever consider trying to up the value, or do you think the value is in how, like, kind of
Raw?
Raw?
I think you could do, but again, they don't make enough money to justify spending lots of money on them.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But I think they're quite nice at the minute. They tend to look quite. They're very simply shot, but they're. I've got quite a nice camera. Sort of thing. I've got a decent enough kit to make it look quite nice. But also, what I like about it is that there's nothing, apart from maybe getting the guests, there's nothing that anyone else couldn't do. It's not particularly complicated. There's no real beyond anyone could do that.
Tell that some of them B-roll shots that you make would do. That's one of the best things when we're walking. He goes, 2 seconds, let's put the camera down. He goes, we're just going to walk past it.
I know, we'll walk past the other way, so it looks like it's 2 different shots, but we've forgotten by then because there's half an hour in between. But yeah, there's a lot of that. Isn't it difficult to walk when you're thinking about walking?
You feel like
I'm not sure how this is how I walk. I'm like dragging a leg behind
Walking
me.
like someone from GTA.
Like Naomi Campbell.
Who's the person that's most like surprised you, like being like, oh, they were like nicer than I thought, like or just like different than I thought. Not, I don't even mean in like a good or a bad way. Just someone you've been like, oh,
A different preconception.
I was surprised by how lovely Cam was. Not that I didn't think he would be, but the fact that he bought my kids' presents,
That was
having
quite
never
cute.
met them, was like the loveliest thing ever. And to be fair, now every time
Manipulation.
if you ever come to a conversation, I always go, Cam is the loveliest bloke. He's the loveliest bloke. He bought my kids presents. Right? So it worked. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Did they cry on Christmas?
Because the presents were
don't
that.
think so. No, I don't think so. But you'd thought about what they like and stuff like that as well. It was really thoughtful.
Ah, it's fine. It's Stretch Superman, you know.
Is that what it was?
No, because I remember I was watching a vlog, and which of your sons was like Spider-Man?
Arlo, I think.
Arlo, yeah. So I was like, okay, I think I bought him a Lego Spider-Man thing.
I think I might have swapped the two presents over actually.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I don't think Arlo would have been able to. I think you probably would have actually. I think I made a mistake. I think you were right and I was wrong.
Yeah.
But I think I've swapped them over thinking, well, he's going to struggle making the bits. Of
Yeah,
them.
because it had the age was like +7. I was like,
Yeah. I thought, well, that's near Otto's age. I might swap them over. I think I might have done that. But in hindsight now, Arlo does do a lot of superhero Lego. So you were probably just more on the ball.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, well, you can aspire to be that.
Yeah.
That's what I bought him for. It wasn't just a gift; it was something to aspire to be.
It was like a message for the future.
Yeah.
Like, one day you will do
One
this.
day, if you
When
work
he's
hard
an
enough,
engineer or a superhero, it's down to you. Yeah.
A bit of pressure on us. Next time I meet Robbie, I'll have a trust fund ready for them.
trust fund
For when they turn 18.
like an ISA.
Yeah, and I'll
Junior
have,
ISA.
I'll have a junior ISA set up for them.
Yeah, that was very, very kind of you. Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered everything we want to talk about.
Pretty much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Robbie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's been the best day of my life.
Where
Best
can
day
we-
of your life.
Best day ever.
Easily.
Even better than the Christmas when Cam gave great presents to your kids.
For me, because I didn't get a present. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got some sausage rolls. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, but anyway, we're going to take it into the audio-only version. Where can they find you, Robbie, if people want to check you out?
The internet. I mean, everyone. I presume everyone knows how to find. I mean, they can.
It'll be in the
What-
top
what-
link of the
what's-
description.
I've got a YouTube channel.
Watch
That's
out for
pretty-
his brewery.
His
Okay,
brewery,
yeah. Big
coming.
brewing
It'll
company.
be out by the time this is out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that, and we'll see you in the audio only.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.